Hey, be nice to each other. Stop. She doesn't want your stuff. Leave her alone.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
Evening, John.
Hello.
Good evening, Sandra.
Good
I wasn't sure
evening.
you'd be joining us. And Tom,
We're
you're
both-
away somewhere, right? You're not at home, right?
Oh, no, I'm not, that's not for another, today was a busy day, but no, I leave next Friday for Florida and then I'm gone that week after, so.
Okay, so you're home.
Coming up, but not quite yet.
Well, I'm glad to see you both on screen. That's excellent. And Kristen's there as well, but her camera is not on yet.
I think mine is.
You're not on screen, Kristen. I can hear your voice, but I can't see your picture. Any suggestions as to what button? Oh, there she is.
There
All
she
right.
is, hi.
Ta-da. Fantastic. And welcome as a legal official member of the committee, Kristen.
Yay!
Thank you.
Terrific to have you there. All right. As it's now exactly 6 o'clock, let's get started. Declare the meeting open. I don't see any guests, so I don't think Noreen is joining us this evening. And I know that Denise, it's her birthday today, and she is away, hopefully having a wonderful dinner.
Oh, good.
So, which would be good, yes. So I will be taking the minutes, sort of, not with her efficiency, but I will take them as I can. So no guests, review of the last minutes. Did everybody have a chance to read the October minutes? No, November minutes, sorry, November minutes.
Tom hasn't, I looked through them, but. I
Okay,
didn't-
anybody got anything to add or change, or can I have a motion to accept them?
So moved.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Terrific. Seeing none, we'll move right along. Treasurer's report. Thank you for sending that in.
Well, we're in. I guess the big thing is we got a big bill from Bartlett for all the tree work they've done, and I was able to guilt the town into paying roughly half of it.
Yay, good
And-
job.
So, and I also got a sort of tongue wagging from Karen Fitzpatrick, I think appropriately asking us to check with them if there were safety issues so that they could get their contractor to do the tree removal. It probably would have been cheaper. But since they were there and doing the work, we didn't have the opportunity to say, no, we'll have somebody else take the tree down. So
Right.
we did end up roughly splitting that bill almost in half. So you'll see the entry in the Friends account was about $1,500. There was another almost that much money that the town covered. And we're left on the regular budget account just over $1,100. I think we've had the last bill from Better View for the season. So we won't see, not likely to see any more entries there until the spring. And that amount should cover us through the end of June. So based on past expenditures for the first part of the year. So I think we're in reasonable shape.
Thank you so much, John, for pursuing that with the town. Congratulations. I think it was a very valid thing to pursue, and I think that Karen's concerns were also valid. I agree with you.
Yep.
I mean, she was definitely giving you a tongue wagging and smacking my hand. But I think it was valid that they would have got it done cheaper. My concern is, would they have got it done as quickly? You know, when a safety is a genuine issue, it's a question of do it now, not do it in a month's time.
So who is their contractor they use? That's Stately?
Stately.
Yes.
So did we get a estimate from Stately for the beach?
Don't know.
I think we did not, but we should. The beach is
Well,
not.
Otherwise, we're getting a tongue wagging.
Oh yeah, we will. I mean, the beach, I think, needs to. We've had 2 estimates so far, as I can remember, right?
Mhm.
So we probably should get a third and a fourth even on that beach, because we have some time. Although I'm concerned that maybe this winter we're going to lose on that side that's dead, with the fungus. We're going to lose some branches this winter, I think, but I don't know.
Main thing is to get, an estimate by state. That's it seems like we should always have them as included in the,
That for the town, yes,
yeah.
absolutely. I will pursue that. Any other comments on the treasury? I think it looks like we're in reasonably good situation. Thank you, John.
Mhm.
Not panicking at the moment, anyhow. Okay, work projects. Sarah, you had a team come down and work.
Yep, on November 14th, about 40 Academy kids came down. They finished, I would say, almost finished all the raking. They mulched the whole like back area, not back, front area by where the fence used to be, but the fence isn't there. They moved plants in the swamp. I forget what else they did.
They went crazy on the invasives.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
They were just great. They were a great group of kids.
Yeah, they really worked hard. There was nobody dodging, and they seemed to. I mean, the kids that we've had down with, this is the second group from the academy, and both groups very pleasant, very hardworking. Put in the time that you'd expect teenagers to put in. It was terrific.
Do
They
we
got all
keep-
the cardboard down underneath the,
No, that was done
different area?
afterwards. That was done before we did all.
oh,
We'll get.
no.
Do we keep track of how many hours we get volunteer work done there at the Arboretum?
We keep track. We don't always have all the numbers. We used to, because it's if we apply for any grants, they like to know that.
Well, maybe we need to figure out a way to do that, even if we estimated, like for the academy kids and the Pomfret School kids and the work we do.
and
We
for us,
probably should keep track of that.
a while ago, we used to have notebooks. Each member on the committee had a notebook, and they recorded the hours that they spent down volunteering or with the students, and the names of the students, because sometimes the grant people like to know exactly who came. I'm not sure if that's legal, but I think we can do that. Put that all together. We can go back over the minutes and put that together, John. That's a good idea. And thank you, Tom and Sandra. You've gone down there pulling up stuff.
Yeah, that's what Tom was alluding to. We got in after we had met with Jean Pillow and talked about the rain garden. I thought she made a good suggestion, and we kind of went ahead with that after we chatted with you, Philippa, was to rip up the all the crap that's on that hill behind the depression. And it was dry. The was dry. It was before it got cold. So the poison ivy was not as intense. And so Tom and I spent a couple of hours, and we got about 3/4 of it done. The worst 3/4. And she suggested getting cardboard down, even before winter, but I think we kind of missed our window. Get cardboard down, and then take all a couple of like 3, 4, 5 inches of the mulch and throw it on top and let it sit there over the winter, so that we're not getting it will kind of clean it out so that we can decide what we're doing there next spring without all this stuff coming back up and us getting back into it. So I don't know, I mean, as long as we can still get out there, we can probably do it, but it's kind of late now. So I don't know what you guys want to do. I mean, we could probably do it early spring, but we want to get out there because we had it all the way down to bare ground.
I would really like to try and get the cardboard down.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be great. Any chance of getting any academy students again, Sarah, or not?
I mean, right now we're fighting all the international kids going home about a month early before the end of the school, before this Christmas, whatever holiday break. I could try. I can put it out there.
Because it would be nice for them to move, just to move the wood chips. To have young strong backs moving wood chips.
I don't know what my schedule, it's more like, what does my schedule look like for me to get down there with them? I can look. I think they actually would, I may get more kids when we get back from break
Hmm.
because then service hours are due and they all panic. Like, oh, no, like I don't have my community service and they all sort of have so I may get more if there's, I know it's supposed to snow tonight. Everyone put your delay caps on that we have a school delay tomorrow. But maybe if there's not snow on the ground the beginning of January, when we get back.
Yeah, and that the chips aren't frozen in. Maybe we should throw a tarp or something over them.
Okay. There's
And then
tarp
we-
in the shed. I can bring a tarp up and bring some logs over and just weight it down. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, as long as it doesn't get wet and frozen, you know,
Mhm.
we might be able to do it. It would be kind of iffy, but it would be great. So we did all the way up to the wonky post project.
Elegant post project. What do you mean?
So we took out that post that John had gotten the other, and I didn't want him doing it because of his ankle or his foot, you know. So Tom and I said, well, we're here, we'll get it done. And it's narrower and taller than the ones that were there. So the rails that were there didn't quite meet. So I just shoved some, it's
Roots. and
roots,
she-
whatever.
Anything she could find.
In there just to look it up, and it kind of looks like this. We probably want to look at that next year, maybe.
Definitely. Not a problem.
I think we call it a spiritual weaving right now. It's an artistic.
I was dying. I'm sitting there laughing. I'm going, I just hope nobody looks at this. Here we are trying to do something good, and it's like, it's just, it's pitiful.
No, absolutely not pitiful. No, I won't call it that. But thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate that. I will
Oh,
get.
you can tell them about your hose.
Oh yeah, what's going on with the hose?
Well, because Ryan had said that the cedars and the cypress trees were,
Yeah.
they were very dry. We were watering, and I brought my hose, and Sandra, you brought a hose once, and we had two hoses out of the shed. This horrendous green hose that wound itself in tangles around a wheel.
I know, I
and
was there for all
a
that.
heavy black
Who
hose.
stole it? Who
And
stole it?
I have no idea, because I left the green hose and the heavy black hose, I thought fairly well hidden on the other side of the fence. So you had to cross the rain garden to see them or get to them, and they were connected. But when Sandra and then it started raining. So we watered the trees, but I think I did it 3 times.
Yeah, I think so.
That
Yeah.
hose was so heavy, I did not carry it. Every time I carried it down to the shed, except the last time when I said, this is ridiculous because I'm going to need to do some more watering. So I threw it over that fence, and it was down on the hillside.
And it was black or dark.
And
I mean,
black and connected
Yeah.
to the green hose. So it wasn't
Yeah.
undisconnected. It was still connected to the green hose. But when Sandra and I went down to put the hoses away, it was gone. I put out something on Facebook to
saw.
the crowd and asked whoever brought it, whoever thought it was discarded and felt it was garbage would return it. I got a very nice offer of a free hose, but we're not doing any watering, so I just feel like I don't need to take up that offer right now. But it has not been. Sorry?
Wasn't the hose that was attached to the faucet that belonged to the Center for Woodstock History, is that still there, or did that disappear?
No, that is still there, John. That was not
Okay.
taken.
And we checked with Jay when we were there. They were there that day. So we went in and
Mhm.
asked if they saw it and put it away for us. They didn't.
That's really weird.
Yeah, I also checked with Mary Lou Davis because her balcony looks over that part of the Arboretum, and either she or her son are quite often out on the balcony wandering around on nice weather. So I asked if she had seen anybody there, because they had to have come in to park down there and then get out and walk over the fence and then unscrew the hose and carry it back. So this is not sort of a random, oh gee,
Yeah.
I'm just driving by. I mean, what were they doing down there? I also texted both Scott and Chris, who are our lawnmower and our zipper zapper guys, to see if by any chance they had picked it up thinking that it was being out there exposed and should be taken care of. And I didn't get anything back from them, so I assume that they didn't get it. So I don't know what happened to the hose. It's a mystery.
Okay.
The story of the hose. Any thought about that planting project that Jean Pillow suggested with milk containers and seeds? Do you remember her talking about that?
Yeah,
It was kind of an interesting, that would be a good community outreach. So what Jean Pillow had mentioned, it's again, a little late this year, is that what they do is they get native seeds and they kind of plant them in like milk containers in the fall. And
No,
put
it can be now.
Can
She's
it be
gonna do
now?
a session in January. It's not too late.
So Krista, why don't you tell us, why don't you mention?
I have horrible success, so I'm the last one who should talk about it. But you put a couple inches of soil in a milk container and native seeds, and then you put it out in the garden, and the rain and the snow should water it, and then magically you get seedlings because they've been winterized and they're growing slowly while it slowly warms up, and then they're magically hardy and ready to be plant out. She's going to do a session at the garden club. Maybe we could impose on her to let us go, or I mean, there's 1,000 videos online. It's not hard, so you don't have to go to her to learn it.
Do we plant those in the rain garden? Would we, because we haven't really designed what the rain garden's gonna do.
That's right. So
And
then
so
you'd have
it'd
to
be
sort of
kind of
grow them
premature.
up,
Yeah,
and then you'd plant them out when it warms up.
oh,
it'd
so
be
you
something
plant
we
them
could do-
somewhere else? Like I could plant them in my like vegetable
Sure.
beds and then bring them over later? Is that?
Yeah, you could do that, or put them in 4-inch containers for a while. But
So
you'd sort of want to know what you want to plant. I mean, that's part of the
Yeah.
design.
so we could do that in January if we had a work crew who came from the academy to spread the wood chips. We could also
Well,
Yeah,
do
we
some
can't
there.
put the little things there because we're gonna be smothering everything.
What about
No.
Woodstock Elementary School? Like I could reach out to Christine Williams and see if her little kids want to do it.
It does involve gallon milk containers.
I have a whole bag of
Oh,
milk
yay.
containers sitting in my attic because we used them for a previous children's work activity, and I still have, probably 8 or 10 of them sitting up in my attic, maybe more.
But so where would we put them? How would, because we were thinking the rain garden, not flowers, right? We were thinking maybe shrubs instead.
But how about using seeds of the things that we've got over on the north side, down that slope where we brought some plants in, you put some plants in?
Oh yeah, some of the more shade loving plants.
Yeah, how about starting those seeds and then putting them in there?
That's a good spot. I mean, we'd have to look at it.
And she mentioned Monarda and a few other things that can sort of take light shade.
Yeah, yeah.
Could they go in the swamp, Kristen?
Monarda can take swampy, yeah.
Mhm.
So that
A
would be
little, not wet feet, but moist.
so on the edge of the swamp then.
Maybe.
Yeah, okay. 'Cause, I mean, we
And she mentioned grasses, which I think is a great idea for the rain garden.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we talked about maybe getting some of the native witch hazel down in that area too.
But I was thinking.
Now, I don't know that the winter sowing is going to be good for shrubs. I always see it in reference to annuals and perennials.
Yeah, it seems like shrubs, you want to just buy a shrub.
Yeah.
How about something like forget-me-nots in that swampy area? Are they considered invasive, or would that be okay?
They're not native.
Forget-me-nots are not?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, and Noreen made an interesting point, is like, where are you on that? The Arboretum obviously started to be a collection of international plants. now we think much more about native things.
Well, it's one thing to have trees that are not native and, not something there's all kinds of trees that don't propagate, they aren't invasive, they're just simply good specimens. Your ground covers and all your perennial type stuff, that's kind of a different story. And we are an arboretum, but at the same time, they're mixed in with the whole rest of the landscape. There's nothing wrong with that being natives.
Okay.
Kind of two separate things.
Yeah.
To me, in mind.
And to that point, I would say forget-me-nots are not native, but they're not invasive.
Yeah, I think that's part of our plan though, is figuring out what we're doing and where we're doing it so that we're not fighting, like I keep looking at the rain garden, just trying to get that stabilized. I think I showed you guys the pictures of the bittersweet roots that were like this big around and that Tom tackled. I mean, it was crazy amount of invasives in there. And if we can get, one area planted and then maybe move to the next, it might be an easier way to manage it, because otherwise we're just going to be next spring fighting the same fight we did this year. I want to try to stabilize something and then move along.
So you don't think we should try planting seeds in milk jugs yet?
I don't think so, but you guys can veto me on that. I just don't know where to put, because the ground hasn't been cleared for them. We don't know where they're going and which ones. I think we need to plan that a little bit.
It could be a couple selective ones. We know the shrubs are going to take a little while to mature. So it might be a good idea to just have some stuff that is
ready to go.
But kind of bigger stuff. And we don't want any like small dainty stuff in the rain garden. It needs to be aggressive. Not aggressive, but it needs to be tall and stuff that thrives well. We know that the Joe Pye weed did well in there. We've got some other things that have done well. And getting things similar like that can take off, and that the shrubs will then complement when they get larger.
Would they?
Those are the kind of.
It's it's possible. I'm not sure as far as I have to look at different wetland marine gardens, species that are suitable for that. There's.
Okay, well, we don't have to make a decision on the milk jugs right now. If that's going to be happening in January anyhow, we can sort of think about that. But I think I agree with you that focusing on one part of the Arboretum is a good idea. And we seem to be focusing on that rain garden, and that's sort of the entrance. And if we can get that to work, that would be fantastic. Sarah, hang on. Anything else? Long-term plan development will be the next one. Can we move on to that and get to you, Sarah? Did you have any chance to do any work?
Yep. So I did it all when I was away in Montreal. And then when I went to look for it today, it's not on my computer. So all I can think about is I lost Wi-Fi and I didn't save it. I thought I did, and I didn't. So it's on my plan for this weekend. I have a ferry ride to Nantucket, and I'll do it on the ferry. As long as the ferry's not super rocky, I can do it on the ferry.
How
And I'll email it to you on Monday. I'll email it to you on Monday. I remember what I did, but I went to look for it at 5:45. I'm like, oh yeah, I saved it in my IR folder, and it's not there. And Tom Young is my witness. He watched me do it on the plane.
I'm sure you did. I believe you.
I'll do it on the ferry this weekend.
Okay, well, thank you. Don't get sick though.
I won't.
Okay. Isn't it frustrating when the computer eats your work? Oof.
I think I just didn't. This happened before in another with committee meeting minutes for another committee I'm on. They left, and I don't think because I'm not connected to the cloud. I thought I saved them to the cloud, and the cloud doesn't exist. So therefore, but I'm on the cloud at school. So I think I just forgot. That's okay.
Okay, but thank you for getting that done. I look forward to
Mhm.
seeing it. Excellent. Any questions that came to your mind that you needed to have details for or answers from any of the group? Not sure.
No, I think it's pretty, like I just laid out what we had spent so far and why we want the raise. And the biggest concern is safety and that the trees are dying. We're trying to rebuild. And in order to rebuild, we have to clear. And we have to do trees and plants that are more in tune with the climate change that's occurring and how we need them to put up I forget what they're called because I had to look it up on Google. The stuff to block the rain garden so the wash doesn't go into that, like all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And they just made a nice little line chart of like these are the estimates we got so far. This is what I think it's going to cost based on basic online research. Because all we're asking for is additional, like I said, just an additional $5,000. I didn't go crazy. Because I don't think we're gonna get that. I know for a fact that the Woodstock Public School budget's already over, so I have a feeling it's gonna be a tough budget year.
Mm,
But we should ask.
absolutely, and ask soon too.
Yep.
We have to get it in early. Terrific. Anybody got questions
Let
for
me
Sarah?
double check to see if it's not my email. Hold on. But I'll send it to you Monday morning when I get back to school.
Terrific. Thank you so much, and I will forward it to everybody. Okay. Anybody questions for Sarah? No. Moving right along. Okay. The walkabout guide in the brochure. Sandra, you've been doing amazing things.
Yeah, I've got it pretty well up to date right now. I can it needs a lot of proofing and some stories need to be done. And this is like the full one. And I did it where Kirsten, I think you had mentioned this where, well, why don't we put in little icons or something that you do this is an hour, this will take an hour, hit these trees, this will take a half an hour, hit these trees. So I did that and I kind of just guessed on which ones. So I threw it in there. I can bring, are you going to be at exercise class tomorrow morning, Philippa?
No, I'm baking cardamom bread for the church fair.
Oh, I love that. Because I could give you a printout, but I can make a PDF of it and send it to the team.
Sure.
You can take a look at it. We still didn't, I think when we finished up at the swamp maple down by the,
Right.
so we still had to go around and pick up any other trees that were missing. But I've got it up to date so we can slide in those other trees, and I'm up to 50 trees and shrubs. And shrubs. But it's a full account. And so I don't know how we want to parse that down or, what you want to do, but I'm trying to do the big one and it's easy to take away, whatever we want to do late, however you want to do it.
Having an inventory like that is useful anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a guide people will use to walk around, but if we now have an inventory, that's good.
Yeah, we went through and really hit on a lot, and we did trees and bushes and shrubs, because that's what the Arboretum is. It's trees and shrubs. And we did look up the elm, because remember Tom had that thing and we were trying to figure out that elm is about 99 years old, and it probably has never gotten the Dutch elm disease. So it is a good story to talk about how, that it didn't get a remnant. So I've got it in there, and please edit and cross out and let's whatever you guys.
And I need to find some stories too, right?
Yeah, there's some stories need to be done or rewritten because we had Latin Southern names with Northern and that sort of thing, but you'll see it. And I put in there, I just put in need story.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
I'll do that tomorrow, and I'll send it out to this group as a PDF.
So if anybody has any particular stories, cherished pieces of information, apocryphal or not, about the trees and the bushes, just things that make them more interesting, and any idea of of the ones that were part of the original plantings? I often get that question. Was this an original one? Was this one of the first ones? So to
Yeah.
know that this tree was 99 years old, that elm, that's really,
I
you know,
did put in there, Philippa, I think, on, I've got it up here, hold on, let me just look at it. I've got it on here where, it says listed on the I put listed on the 1933 Palmer Arboretum manifest. Or I put, so we have those two manifests that you had given it to us, and I think the other one was listed on the 1988-89, and I called it a manifest because I didn't know what else to call it. So I put those in. I don't know if they were, because the one we got was the 1933 listing. I don't know. I mean, I would assume that was the original planting, but I wasn't, it didn't say it was, so I put that on there. If we had it. So there were a few of them. And then there was the 1977 manifest as well. So there's those three, that's all I have were those three.
terrific. Thank you so much. Yeah, when I was going through some of the information that Jay has, the Historical Society, I found out that the Arboretum Committee, we were established in 1985 apparently, and the drainage was installed at that time. That was one of the questions we'd been wondering from asking Bill about what about the drainage. It doesn't say who put the drainage in, but that's apparently when it was installed. And there should be a catalogue by Arthur Manthorn of all the trees.
And he was 1987.
1970s is what I had.
Yeah, it's 1978, sorry. Yeah, that's the manifest that I put in there in the 1977, 78 or something like that.
Right. Okay. Great.
I put those in, what we had done. So, well, you'll see what I have. I've just got to finish up a couple of little things, put a few more icons on the walking tour ones, and I'll get it over to you sometime tomorrow, you know, by the weekend at the latest.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay. Any questions, concerns, thoughts about that from anybody else? Speaking of Bill Brower, he said that he would be available to meet with us if we wanted to meet with him still on the 9th, Monday the 9th after 1:30, or Friday the 13th at any time.
Neither of those work for me.
I'm sick both those days. I'm not going to a Bill Bauer meeting. I'm sick. I'm ill both those days at those times.
Right. We cannot have like an official committee get together because that's illegal. We're just having a coffee hour when we're going to be talking about history and questions.
Well, I like your ideas. Maybe we should just, since we're having a hard time getting everyone together, and since from what I'm hearing, that it's a complicated, could be a complicated.
Remember, we are on recording, so yes.
Yeah, it might be good, like what you said, is just say, let's everybody throw our questions in and let him just answer our questions. Maybe you can put it together and just do it that way. Because I would like to know a few things, but I don't really necessarily, after hearing a few people, want to put myself into a
okay, that sounds fine.
Situation that might not be pleasant.
Right.
Be very.
Yeah, that's fine. And yeah, I think, and Bill has a lot of information. So if anybody has specific questions, why don't you just send them to me and I will send him a note with a list of the questions, you know, and just the things that you think that about the history, about anything that you would like to know about. So I think that is a good way to do it, because I'm really not available on either of those dates either.
Yeah,
so,
I can't.
You know, that puts us off. And I mean, just we're playing, you know, date tag at the moment. So this makes
we'll put our questions together and get those over to you.
That would be great. So also, John, if you have any questions, or Sarah, Kristen, anything that you'd like to know, he's the resource person, and would be a good person to ask. Okay. Any other business? We're moving along like a hot knife through butter, as always.
How do we want to just go forward with the rain garden? Once we get everything down, how do you want to reestablish it? What's the protocol for doing that? Do we get, have maybe Tom put together a plan of plants, or do we come together and have coffee and something and talk about what goes back? I'm just trying to think of how do we, once we start ripping out, how do we bring things back?
Right.
Tom, would you be willing to sort of brainstorm a few plants that you think would be really good? Because you're the expert as far as rain gardens go.
Yeah, I mean, I can certainly do something.
Wasn't Jean Pillow gonna send us a list?
I have not received anything from Jean yet, but she did say she was going to send us a list. Yes.
That would be nice to have if she had one.
Yeah, and there's like other lists out there as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sandra, do you have, I mean, you were the one who set up the first date with
Yeah,
Jean.
you want me to just reach out to Jean and
Would you
ask
like
her
to
about
reach
that?
out and
Sure.
thank her that we really enjoyed her visit, but she had remind her that she was going to send us some lists. That would be helpful.
I'll do that.
Great. Kristen, any thoughts as a fully fledged, fully furred
Alternate.
and feathered member?
Alternate. No, I'm happy to listen and do, but no
Okay.
questions.
Okay. John, anything else to add?
Nope.
Okay. Sarah,
Happy soon-to-be birthday.
thank you. Appreciate that. That's why I wasn't going to meet on the 13th.
Is that your birthday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Well, thank you.
birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So that being said, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second? I
Second.
second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Stay safe. It's going to be a nasty night tonight.
Okay.
Yes.
We're
Happy
not going
holidays,
anywhere.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.